Hello everyone and welcome to my educational vlog. I am Jessa Rose Pasquil Rita, a second year student taking up Bachelor of Secondary Education, major in English at Negros Oriental State University Shaton campus. I'm thrilled to have you here today as we dive into the fascinating world of connecting and communicating with others. Today we are going to discuss the quarter 4 week 2, which is strategies for effective interpersonal communication. Welcome and learn with Miss Jess. Before we continue to our discussion, let us first have our learning outcomes or our learning objectives. At the end of the lesson, students are expected to distinguish the different types of interpersonal communication and apply a variety of strategies for effective interpersonal communication skills. Alright, so now let us first define what is communication. So communication is the sharing of information between two or more individuals or groups to reach a common understanding. It is a two-way process between the sender and the receiver of the message. So every communication involves, for at least a one sender, a message, and the recipient or the receiver of the message. So now, what is interpersonal communication? Interpersonal communication is a process by which people exchange information, feelings, and meaning through verbal and non-verbal messages. It is a face-to-face communication. Interpersonal communication is not just about what is actually said, the language used, but how it is said and the non-verbal messages sent through tone of voice, facial expressions, gestures, and body language. Without speech, an observer may be using cues of posture, facial expression, and dress to form an impression of the other's role, emotional state, personality, and/or intentions. Although no communication may be intended, people receive messages through such forms of non-verbal behavior. So here are the forms of interpersonal communication. The first one is dialogue. Dialogue is the most personal and most intimate form of dyadic communication. In some ways, it is similar to a conversation but is more intimate and purposive. It could be a written or spoken exchange of ideas between two or more people. So here are the guidelines in engaging an effective dialogue. First, share your perspective or ideas. Second, listen to the perspective or ideas of others. And third, respect difference and understand them. Of course, you need to share your ideas. After that, listen to the ideas of others and show respect by listening to their ideas. So the second form of interpersonal communication is a conversation. It is the most common form of dyadic communication. It may be defined as a friendly and usual informal talk between two people who exchange their views and ideas. So here are the guidelines in engaging an effective conversation. Do not interrupt while the person is speaking. Do not do all the talking. Be a good listener. Do not exaggerate. Do not misquote. And of course, be polite. The third and last form of interpersonal communication is the interview. It is a form of dyadic communication that is considered a two-way process where both parties alternately talk and listen. Moreover, it is a formal and a purposive consultation. So here are the strategies in conducting an effective interview. Start easy. Plan and prepare. Ask the right questions. Have a conversation. Find an anecdote or small story to illustrate your point. Pay attention to the details. And of course, don't forget to say thank you at the end of the interview. And now, here is the overall strategies for effective interpersonal communication. Learn how to listen actively. Focus on the issue, not the person. Be genuine rather than manipulative. Empathize rather than remain detached. Be flexible towards others. Value yourself and your experiences. And last but not the least, use affirming responses. Now, let us test your skills by doing this activity that I have prepared. Are you all excited? That's good to hear. So this activity is called Match and Pick Me. So here are the directions. Read the scenario below and supply words to complete the conversations. Choose only the appropriate words in the box for your answers. So let me read to you the scenario. Nina is having a job interview. Kylene is asking her questions about her work history. So Nina, tell me about your current blank. Sure, I work for ABC Chemicals. I'm blank international sales. So, how long have you blank there? I've worked at ABC since 2010. Okay. Where did you work blank? I worked for tenant research. I was a junior analyst. I worked there for 5 years. Was that your first job? Yes, it was. That's fine. Thank you. In the box, we can see the words college, job, in charge of, before, and worked. So good luck, and you can now start answering the activity. Time's up. Now let's check your answers. So Nina, tell me about your current job. Very good. Sure, I work for ABC Chemicals. I'm in charge of international sales. So, how long have you worked there? I've worked at ABC since 2010. Okay, where did you work before? I worked for tenant research. I was a junior analyst. I worked there for 5 years. Was that your first job? Yes, it was. That's fine. Thank you. So, did you got all the correct answers? Very good. That is a great job, my dear learners. Now for your assignment, choose one from the given topics below and choose one from the forms of interpersonal communication, which are the dialogue, conversation, and interview. Employ a variety of strategies for effective interpersonal communication. Do not forget to take a video and send it through my email address or Instagram account. You can see my email address and Instagram account in the comment section below. You can also use the checklist below as a guide to a successful presentation. So here are the following topics. Number 1, family safety measures during the pandemic. Number 2, modular or distance learning support. And number 3, recreational activities, hobbies, interests during the pandemic. So here are the following things that you need to consider to have a successful presentation. Learn how to listen actively. Focus on the issue, not the person. Be genuine rather than manipulative. Empathize rather than remain detached. Be flexible towards others. Value yourself and your experiences. And of course, use affirming responses. And that's the end of our discussion. Thank you and stay tuned for the next educational video.